Alright, so once again, let's talk about this guy, Lucian Bute. Let's talk about this guy, Lucian Bute. Alright? Now, Lucian Bute fans, you guys could get as mad as y'all want to get. It doesn't change the facts. You guys can try to, hype Lucian Bute up as much as y'all want to, but it doesn't change the facts. Okay? It doesn't change the facts. Now, you Lucian Bute fans, man, to me, out of all the fans I've seen, the Lucian Bute fans that I've come across have been the most uneducated fans out of all of the fans that I've seen, out of all of the boxing fans I've seen. Because even when you're talking about Floyd Mayweather fans, you're talking about Manny Pacquiao fans, you know, or any of these other, fanatic fan bases out there, even like Ricky Hatton fans, you know, guys are able to put bias aside and talk about what they've been seeing that fighter do in the ring recently. If that fighter is struggling or didn't look good in a fight, for the most part, guys are able to admit it and say, you know what, the guy's just not looking good, or you know what, he had a bad night. Lucian Bute fans, man, you guys will not, come to grips with reality. And the reality of the situation is Lucian Bute is overrated. If you guys want to hype this guy up in Romania and in Canada, that's cool, but we're not buying it over in the States. Guys in the UK aren't buying it. So the mainstream boxing fans all over the world are not buying into Lucian Bute. Okay? I'm sorry, we're just not buying into it. So, like I said, if you guys want to hype him up and be proud of your fighter, there's nothing wrong with that. But don't try to sell us something that's not there. And this kid is not any type of a future champion. Sorry, Bute. I mean, there's just too much competition at 168 who this guy can't beat. I'm not sure if this guy beats a lot of guys at 168, and I'm not even talking about the top guys. I'm not talking about Andre Ward and Carl Froch. That's not even who I'm talking about. Them excluded, I'm not sure Lucian Bute beats some of the top guys at 168. Okay? Because the book is out on this guy. The book is out on this kid. If you pressure him, all right, he doesn't know how to deal with pressure fighters. Okay? He's not good when you get him against the ropes, but too many times in fights, he finds himself running to the ropes. And that's a huge weak spot for him. That's where he got stopped by Carl Froch, and that's where Dennis Gratchev was doing a lot of his damage. But whoever's in this guy's corner, I guess they're hyping him up as much as his fan base is hyping him up, because they're not helping this guy, man. This guy needs some help as far as his boxing goes. Okay? He holds his hands too low. He's got some technical flaws. His footwork is not that good. Okay? I'm not so sure that this guy beats some of these names at 168. I'm not sure that he beats Arthur Abraham. Okay? And I don't even think highly of Arthur Abraham. I definitely think he loses to Andre Durrell. Okay? And I'm not sure if he beats Kelly Pavlik. I'm not even sure if he beats Kelly Pavlik. To me, this is the fight I'd like to see Kelly Pavlik take. I say go ahead and go fight Lucian Bute. I'm not sure why Kelly Pavlik wants to fight Andre Ward. It'll just be another star on Andre Ward's resume. But Kelly Pavlik, to me, I say beat Lucian Bute, and then go ahead and fight Andre Ward. But I mean, there's just so many guys here at 168 who could beat this guy. I think there's guys at 160 that beat Lucian Bute. I think Peter Quillen beats Lucian Bute. I think Gennady Golovkin beats Lucian Bute. Okay, here's a guy who already beat Lucian Bute in the Olympics badly. Okay, I think Sergio Martinez beats Lucian Bute. I think Chavez Jr. destroys Lucian Bute. I think Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. destroys Lucian Bute. He's bigger. All right. He's a great pressure fighter. I think a guy like Chavez Jr. is a nightmare for Lucian Bute. Okay. So I think there's a lot of guys at 160 that beat this guy Lucian Bute. And that's why I think, you know, if he's even in the top 10 at 168, he should be at the bottom of the list. He should be barely cracking the top 10. There's too many guys I feel like they beat this guy. So what's my advice for Lucian Bute? Like I said, he needs to go ahead and try to fight a Kelly Pavlik or fight some of these guys and beat a couple of guys before he's looking for a big fight. I think he's jumping the gun too early. You know, he's bought into his own hype. You know, and the fans, you guys need to be realistic. I mean, let me tell you how uneducated a lot of these Lucian Bute fans are. I got people on my videos telling me that Lucian Bute is going to destroy Carl Froch. Did you guys not see the first fight with Carl Froch and how that went? I'm pretty sure Carl Froch destroyed Lucian Bute. Okay, and after Lucian Bute getting knocked out by Carl Froch, you guys are so out of it that you guys are coming on my channel trying to tell me that Lucian Bute is going to destroy Carl Froch. This is what I'm talking about. See, other fans, other fighters, you know, might be fanatical. They might really follow those guys, but they're not as delusional as Lucian Bute fans are. That's what you guys are. To me, you guys sound delusional, like you guys need help. Okay? For you to sit there and say that Lucian Bute is going to destroy Carl Froch, all right, after seeing how that fight went, and after seeing Denis Grachev spend Lucian Bute, okay? He gave Lucian Bute all that he could handle, and in my opinion, he won that fight. Denis Grachev, you know, beat Lucian Bute, and Lucian Bute got a gift decision. Okay? Let's face it, this guy Denis Grachev isn't somebody who should be giving Lucian Bute, if he is who y'all say he is, any problems. Okay? How the hell are there people on YouTube, you know, before Lucian Bute fought Carl Froch, who were on here trying to say Lucian Bute should fight Andre Ward? Okay? How do you guys consider yourselves credible? You guys lose all credibility when you say whack stuff like that. Okay? I was one of the people on YouTube who said no, Lucian Bute should not fight Andre Ward, he should fight Carl Froch. Okay? And I said he would lose to Carl Froch. I actually said he would get knocked out by Carl Froch. But what do you know? All those things happened. Okay? So, hey, if you Lucian Bute fans really want to see Lucian Bute get knocked out by Froch, I got no problem watching it again. I mean, I think it'll be worse this time. I think it'll be worse because this time Lucian Bute is going to be more timid, and guess what? Froch is going to be more aggressive. You know, just call it what it is. Call it what it is. Just be honest with yourself. I'm trying to help Lucian Bute out. I say don't rush into the Froch fight. Hey, I'd love for Lucian Bute to build himself up and actually become a credible guy at 168. But the fact is, what this guy has done is not credible. It's not credible. Beating Glenn Johnson is not credible. Okay? Come on. You guys are making yourselves sound silly when y'all act like this guy's actually done something at 168. He hasn't. He hasn't done anything at 168. Okay? So what Lucian Bute needs to do is slow down. Okay? Fight maybe a guy like Kelly Pavlik. You know? Fight Arthur Abraham. Fight a couple of these little guys at 168 who got names. Okay? And if he's able to pull some of those fights out, which I'm not so sure he does, but hey, if he's able to, then go ahead and try to go ahead and get your Carl Froch rematch. Okay? But I mean, as of right now, man, Lucian Bute is looking like food for Carl Froch. Okay? He's looking like food for Carl Froch. And like I said, these guys like Kelly Pavlik would do themselves a big service to fight Lucian Bute. Now, for all you Bute fans, like I said, talking all this smack, you know, my boy Gennady Golovkin, from what I've heard, is going to be moving up to 168 pretty soon because everybody at 160 is ducking him. Okay, nobody wants to see Gennady Golovkin at 160. He's got the WBA right now, the WBA title. But I expect guys to still duck him. But, if he's not able to get the fights that he wants at 160, I expect him within the next couple of fights to be moving up to 168. So, and soon it's only gonna be a matter of time before he finds himself in the top 5 of that division. So, we'll see. We'll see. Lucian Bute still has a chance to prove himself, but he's going about it the wrong way, because if he goes ahead and he gets in there with Carl Froch and gets knocked out again, which I think he will, his career is over. He's done. So you guys stop being delusional for a second and actually, wake up and smell the roses. This guy needs to build himself back up before he gets in the ring with anybody who is top-notch quality at 168. This guy is broken. Okay, he's broken. His confidence is shot. His confidence is definitely broken. Okay, and he's a shell of himself. And I don't even think his former self was that good. Okay, I was one of the people on here who was saying that this guy isn't that great. Okay, and that was his old self. That was the Lucian Bute who you guys were actually impressed with. I wasn't impressed with him. Okay, this shell of Lucian Bute is a joke. He's a joke. So what I say, go ahead, fight Kelly Pavlik, or fight some of these guys at 168. Builds up your name a little bit. Builds up your name a little bit. Builds up your resume, because your resume isn't impressive, man. You haven't beat anybody worth talking about. Dennis Gretchev has now become one of the best names on Lucian Bute's resume. You guys go on BoxRec, go look up Lucian Bute's resume, and tell me one fight that Lucian Bute was an underdog in, or tell me one fight that was a fight that could have went either way, based on the level of opposition that Lucian Bute was fighting. You guys tell me. Go ahead, go back and bring me some impressive names that Lucian Bute has fought. Okay, I rest my case. This guy needs to fight some better competition, but Carl Froch, he's out of his league messing with Carl Froch. He's just out of his league. There's plenty of guys out there for Lucian Bute to fight to build up his resume. Heck, I wouldn't mind seeing Lucian Bute fight the other guy from Canada, David Lemieux. Go ahead and fight David Lemieux. David Lemieux is a good fighter. I got more respect for David Lemieux than I do for Lucian Bute. I think David Lemieux would give Lucian Bute, a hard fight. I think David Lemieux could beat Lucian Bute. I think style-wise, he would apply the pressure, and I think he's got the power to put Lucian Bute to sleep. So, I actually like David Lemieux. I think David Lemieux could definitely beat Lucian Bute. Have these two guys fight each other. They both fight out of Canada. Let them fight each other. But Lucian Bute's got to fight some better competition, and there's guys out there for him to fight. These are the guys that Lucian Bute is going to end up fighting anyway, because he doesn't belong in the same ring with the top-notch guys at 168. Okay? It's just been proven. But you know what? Those are my thoughts on Lucian Bute. For as long as his fans are going to be delusional and are going to be crazy, I'm going to keep making vids on Lucian Bute. Until he finally, I guess, gets knocked out and just rides off into the sunset. But that's my advice for Lucian Bute. That's some free advice from me to you, Lucian Bute, and to your fans. You guys need to get a reality grip. Mr. 44 Boxing.